So you finally decided that maybe degenning on one of your favorite altchains isn't the life for you. Well, that's why today we're going to be talking about DeFi indexes, more of a stable way to operate within DeFi. Today we're going to be talking about what they are, how they work, and of course some of my personal favorites. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before we do get into the DeFi indexes themselves, I do want to explain what an index actually is. Now, in traditional finance, an index is a method to track the performance of a group of assets in a standardized way. One example is the S&P 500, the most popular index by far, and includes 80% of the total stocks traded in the US. Pretty much it's a way to invest into the stock market in general. So, for example, if you don't know what to invest in, but generally feel like the stock market is going to go up, then the S&P 500 is probably going to be the best index for you. In decentralized finance, however, it's pretty much the same, where it's a method to track the performance of a group of coins and or tokens. So, good example for this is going to be TCAP. Similar to the S&P 500, if you're bullish on crypto in general, but you don't know which coin to buy, then this coin allows you to be exposed to the entire crypto market cap as a whole because that's what it tracks. So why even bother buying indexes? For example, why bother buying TCAP when I can buy maybe some of the top coins on coinmarketcap.com? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, usually indexed coins are a lot less volatile than individual coins because you're, of course, in a nutshell, kind of tracking an entire market. So, instead of having one coin that can go up or down, your coin that you're buying, the index coin, it may be tracking, let's say in this case, two coins. One may be going up, one may be going down. So it kind of evens out the playing field there a little bit. And that's just obviously an example with two coins. A lot of these indexes have a lot more than that. So they don't tend to, deviate a lot. That makes sense. Number two, there's no impermanent loss. So, for example, one thing that you can do within crypto is provide liquidity for a decentralized exchange or an automated market maker. And usually when you do this, you are in risk of pretty much having one of your pairs of tokens or coins going up very, very quickly or going down very, very quickly, and pretty much losing potential gains by not just holding the two. This one's a little more complicated to explain on the fly, but the point is that you don't have to worry about that with one of these indexes because you're just tracking a bunch of them together, and they tend to have specific weights that keeps a certain amount of coins within the index. Number three, it's a lot cheaper to just buy one token that represents an entire group than actually buying the entire group of each token individually, mainly because of the gas fees that are associated with swapping for each token. Let's say on Uniswap, mainly on the Ethereum main chain, it's going to cost you it's going to be pretty expensive to buy multiple tokens. So it's a lot cheaper to buy one rather than 10. But how do indexes in DeFi actually work? Well, there's something called the index methodology that has 4 different parts to it and pretty much explains what an index is. Number 1 is the construction of it, which is what tokens are actually part of an index. Number 2 is the weighting, which is the percentage of each token within that index. Number 3 is the rebalancing, which is how tokens are added and removed from an index. And then number 4 is going to be the portfolio structure, which is the type of contract used to operate said index. Now, we're going to take a look at Zerion and look at their little dashboard to take a look at the indexes that we talked about today. Today's video is in collaboration with Zerion, a DeFi dashboard that allows you to pretty much manage your entire DeFi portfolio, as well as take a look at some of the indexes that we're going to be talking about today. So make your way over to app.zerion.io so you can go ahead and connect your MetaMask wallet or whatever wallet you choose. And from here, you'll actually be able to click on the invest section to the left. And from here, you'll see the DeFi indexes section again, right here at the top. And this is where we're going to take a look at some of the indexes. Now, there are going to be a couple that I'm going to kind of show you guys, but if you do want to head over here and take a look yourself, it's pretty much a full comprehensive list of any index you might want to take a look at. Let's take a look at the first one called DPI, probably the most popular index by far. This essentially is just going to be an index that represents pretty much DeFi, the majority of DeFi, which includes Uniswap, Aave, Maker, Sushi, Compound. All of these different underlying tokens are what's pretty much what comprises DPI. And you can see the weights of each one or the share on the right over here. Next, let's take a look at MVI, the Metaverse Index. This is by far my second favorite index because although it doesn't expose you to specific NFT projects like CryptoPunks or Bored Apes, it does expose you to pretty much the metaverses, and that's kind of what that is, a metaverse index, which is heavily influenced by the NFT space. And to me, I definitely think this is really important because it's hard to pick, metaverse and NFT specific projects. I think it's a lot easier to use to pick DeFi projects just because like they're all coins anyways. But metaverse is it's a lot different. I think it's a lot harder to pick, and that's why I like the MVI index so much because to me, for any individual person, it's easy to go ahead and buy this one and not have to really worry too much about, oh shit, is Engine gonna pop off? Is ASSY gonna pop off again? It'll just work. Next is the Bankless Bed Index. I like this one because it's a lot more diverse than the other ones in that it's simple and that it tracks Bitcoin, Ether, and DPI. So it's pretty much, if you want to be exposed to, and they're pretty much exposed equally, it looks like. Bitcoin's a little bit higher currently. But if you want to be exposed to pretty much the two biggest players in the space, Bitcoin and Ether, as well as the decentralized finance section of Ether. And down here they even mentioned that this proposed index is a full portfolio solution intended for beginners. And honestly, I could see it. The next one is going to be TCAP, or the Total Crypto Market Cap Coin. Again, I like this one because this is pretty much perfect for the general investor, I would say. Again, not financial advice. But for anyone who is looking to get into crypto in general and doesn't know which coins to get specifically, maybe they're not convinced on Bitcoin, maybe they're not convinced on Ether, and everything else to them seems a little sketchy, you can pretty much just buy a coin and be exposed to the entire market cap as a whole if you think the space is going to go up in general. And honestly, not financial advice, it probably is. It probably is. And the last one I'm going to show you guys is the one that I actually have the most of, which is PowerPool, or the ASSY index. Appropriately, there is a little peach as the icon too. Now, what I love about this one actually is that this is actually made by PowerPool. Powerindex.io is the website that you can kind of get it on, and you can actually get it here too. Is that you can essentially be exposed to Yearn Finance, Aave, Synthetics, and Sushi, which are all very, very promising projects, and as well get a additional staking reward in the form of CVP. Now, personally, that's why I have the ASSY index, because not only am I exposed to some of the largest players in DeFi, but I also get rewarded in their governance token. So to me, that's why I have so much ASSY, and it's not that much, but I have some. Now, if you're not convinced on any of the coins that I just mentioned, you can always pretty much just explore these Zerion in general. You can take a look at the one-day chart to see what's kind of pumping there, 30-day chart, the 90-day chart, as well as even by market cap too. I think usually it's organized by market cap, and you can see how small the market caps of some of these coins are, because not that many people are using them. DPI by far is the biggest one, and MVI is literally like 10 times smaller than DPI, which is crazy. MVI didn't come out that long ago. That's probably why. But I can definitely see MVI's market cap going up a lot, because at the end of the day, like, people are interested in the metaverse, but it's really hard to be exposed to it without being like really, really focused on this space. Even I know a couple of metaverses, but like, I'm not invested in almost any of them. So this is definitely something I'd be looking into personally. And I know I touched on it before, but just to be clear, if you do connect your MetaMask wallet to Zerion or whatever Web3 wallet you're using, you can actually literally just buy it like right away from here. So I can go ahead and buy. I currently am broke, insufficient funds, so it's not going to let me. But if you want to, you can buy directly on Zerion. Just be attentive of any slippage and anything like that, just to make sure you get the best price. So make sure to visit Zerion and take a look at all the DeFi indexes that they offer. I personally use not only the actual desktop app, but their mobile app to look at all my NFT sales and all that stuff on OpenSea. So yeah, I find it pretty useful, and I'm sure you would too. And of course, shout out to Zerion for collabing with the boy. So in general, I definitely think that DeFi indexes are going to be a way of the future for investing for a lot of people in crypto. Crypto is only going to get more and more complicated with more and more tokens and coins coming out. So to me, it only makes sense to be exposed, I would say, as conservatively as possible when it comes to this stuff. Nowadays, I mainly just have ETH, Anchor, and a very, very few other coins. So indexes are definitely on my list in terms of like acquiring. And if you're looking for a deeper dive on indexes and how they work, Zerion actually made their own article kind of explaining DeFi indexes and pretty much how they work. So if you want to take a look at that, I'll leave it in the description below. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Comment down below. What is your favorite index? PowerPool, by far, in my opinion, I like them a lot. I like their indexes a lot, so I'm a little bit biased there. So ASSY is my personal favorite. Just saying. That being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.